Alright everybody, Brian Von Vier here, back at it again with something that might be helpful to all of you young adventurers out there, or maybe the veterans too. What creative methods have your party used to take down a much higher CR creature? Party was at level 7 when they started a battle with a goddamn aboleth, which is CR 12, and its 3 minions immediately after a fight with an adult deep dragon, CR 11. I'm not sure what exactly the minions were, some sort of white blubbery things with what look like gills that grapple and deal psychic damage as they try to drag you into the water. Now, our fighter and bard were already down at the start of this battle, so we only had me, the artillerist artificer, a hexblade, and a twilight cleric. Oh, thank God. As the minions wore us down, little by little, the aboleth just kept popping its head up out of the water every once in a while to attempt to charm on one of us. Then it'd go back under, so we couldn't see it to make attacks. Luckily, we all rolled really well on the saves. Anyway, the cleric, in a stroke of absolute genius, casts Control Water at the spot we last saw the aboleth and basically parts the ocean in a 100 by 100 by 100 cube, leaving the aboleth high and dry after dropping to the now dry seabed and taking fall damage. We proceeded to rain all hell down on this thing, using every bit of firepower we had to chunk it down, and every trick in the book to avoid being charmed. We killed the aboleth and its minions died with it. We each had around 10 HP left by the end. By any standard, we were vastly outclassed and outgunned, totally short-staffed with 2 party members being dead and extremely low on spell slots and other resources. If it weren't for that perfectly timed Control Water spell, some love from the dice gods, and the constant temp HP from the channel divinity, it would have undoubtedly been a TPK. My rogue tricked the time-stopping vampire boss into drawing a card from a deck of many things. Oh my god! He drew the skull card! The Grim Reaper then soloed the boss. Could you just imagine? It's like, thanks, Death. Yeah, no problem. I'll see you later. PC ship being boarded by a pirate warlord and his crew. And the warlord wasn't able to do too much, as every time he stepped foot on their ship, he was Eldritch blasted into the sea. After 4 tries, he swam away, as his men were all dead. Yar, I'm not dealing with this crap anymore. My group is exceptionally good at running away. They've almost turned it into an art form. However, they did manage to kill one dragon by leading another to its lair. They waited for the victor to leave and looted like crazy. Honestly, befriending the bad guys, connecting them with good people who can help them achieve their goals in a morally neutral or better way. As far as the unreasonable evils, I've played some parties with amazing synergy like an Oath of the Watcher's Paladin and a Chronomancy Wizard, so going first is the default. From there, the lizard is webbed and falling, and its CR10 ass gets pounded by the 4 level 5 characters. Control spells make all the difference. Tasha's hideous laughter, along with Entangle and a lucky low roll, lucky for the party, on the freaking giant saving throw that had +5 to it, while said giant was trying to ambush the party ship standing in the specifically slightly than lower nipple height waters of the river they were traveling. Now, you see, Tasha's will specify that the target falls prone and becomes incapacitated, as well as that they are suffering fits of laughter. But here's the other thing, when you get entangled, it takes your action to break out after you fail the initial save. And being incapacitated means you can't take actions. So you need to break out of hideous laughter before you can even try to break out of entangle. I rolled pretty reasonably. I think that falling prone while underwater and laughing uncontrollably would lose all of its air in the first round and then go straight to suffocating. That gave me 5 chances to break out of the laughter. But the river giants I was using were just, well, hill giants with big hollowed out tree trunks to act as snorkels, which meant -1 to the saves. So we have 2 spells, bad dice luck on my part, killed one of the 2 CR5s I sent at them in the first round, and it was after they'd already had a couple of resource-using scraps in the morning. So I thought it was actually going to be a bit of a challenge. Nope, it was amazing. I was so proud of them. It's like seeing my baby birds all grow up. Gotta give this one to my party's wizard. We were fighting a buffed up aboleth and things went very wrong because it managed to split up and mind control some party members at the start. After finally clearing their minds, the rogue and I were struggling heavily in the water. And she pulled the absolutely genius move of reverse gravity to simultaneously screw the aboleth out of legendary resistance, giving both of us the ceiling to stand on and free us from its grapple. Turned its lair from a hellhole of terrible terrain into our battlefield. I homebrewed a CR30 Space Clown Ringmaster. Think Pennywise in space. It had Terrask stats for a lot of things, health included, but as a clown, I had given it lower-ish wisdom. It was meant for them to flee, not fight. Well, someone polymorphed it into a sloth. Slow, weak, not dexterous. Another player with a flight speed grappled him. Then on every turn, he just dashes straight up, says he's gonna fly to the moon. Embarrassingly, it takes me a moment to realize his plan. For the record, I made it clear that I had instituted a variant and much less forgiving fall damage. But my super boss can still have his reaction, right? Then, at the last second, the flying paladin casts Hold Person. He hit terminal velocity, did over 500 damage in one turn, saved all of his allies, escaped without taking any damage himself, and almost killed the Ringmaster. Almost. A frankly unreasonable number of poisonous explosives delivered to an enemy HQ by Express Dimension Door and Invisibility, followed by us booking it out of there with a twinned polymorph into Giant Eagles. We leveled up twice that night. Also, that's going to be the new Amazon. Dimension Door and Invisibility for anonymity in ways that you can never imagine. Ended the last campaign with a successful banish on the big bad evil guy. Everyone gathered around him and readied attacks, then just burst him down. My party has, well, done some questionable things to my bard to get a kill, and I've contributed. We allowed a giant worm to swallow my tiefling bard while he carried a bunch of oil flasks, and he triggered his hellish rebuke. The damage done was hilarious, and my bard survived with about 2 or 3 HP upon getting vomited out. Another time, my bard was again used for bait, given his AC is garbage, and when the empowered Goliath Sentinel got him to attack him, he missed because of cutting words. Then my bard's turn came, he moved around him and proceeded to thunder wave him off of a cliff, with the wizard firing a fireball after him as he fell. This party is very slowly shaving years off my tiefling's lifespan. I had some players who decided to buy over 100 bars of soap so they could sell them the next time they found a town. They got ambushed by a black pudding, which does acid damage. So they dumped over 100 bars of alkaline soap into the ooze and turned it into salt water. You know, if they bottled it at that point and sold it, they could say it's an attraction. The first ooze that has been literally turned into salt water. 10 out of 10. Our Artificer and our Pact of the Chain Genie Warlock have realized the Artificer can just make a new bag of holding and the Warlock can request a new ring from their patron, as well as resummon their familiar. So, Invisible Imp sneaks up behind and puts a bag of holding over the enemy's head before sticking its hand with the genie's vessel ring into the bag. That's all terrible. We were fighting Strahd and Rahadan on a balcony in Strahd's fortress, final campaign battle. Our sorcerer got first initiative and cast Thunder Wave at them, first level. They both failed the save and got knocked right off the balcony, a 1,000-foot drop. Strahd, of course, flew back up, but Rahadan was a goner. Cut to the solo fight, 5 versus Strahd. None of us even took a hit from Rahadan. Strahd, you're about to get clapped, my guy. In my last session, we were trying to save a lady from a shadow monster. We snuck past it, talked to her, and learned it was her mutated brother. What we learned when we spoke to her, however, was that she wasn't being held hostage. Instead, she was sticking around to be with her brother and keep him under control. So I used message to communicate with the monster and tell him I can help him talk to his sister for the first time in years. See, that's how you solve a problem without fighting. I'm proud of you. Fighting a demigod who can move faster than the eyes can follow. The demigod likes toying with the characters, stealing items from their hands, breaking weapons, slamming doors, triggering traps, etc. The paladin became temporarily invincible earlier from, well, shenanigans. Paladin smears his hands and weapon in sovereign glue. Paladin is now attached to the demigod and smears sovereign glue on feet. Epic wrestling match ensues. Demigod is beaten to a pulp and literally disarmed. And you ain't got enough goo gone to sort out that frickin' mess now, do ya, bucko? Gonna toot my own horn here. Go right ahead, it's fun. Playing Epic level 3.5 edition. Parties in the Abyss, fighting a significantly buffed up elemental fueled by a pure shard of the Plane of Fire embedded inside its chest. I'm playing a red half-dragon sorcerer, immune to fire with an impressive STR score for a pure caster. Back in the day, half-dragons got an insane +8 to strength as a racial stat bonus. I fly my ass straight into the elemental and grab the fire shard, rip it out to weaken the elemental, and start firing off Cone of Cold into its head from inside its chest. Oh my god. We took it down a round or two later, and you're a boss doing it. I love the brutality there. My party is pretty sensible. They know when to run if they can't win. They know when to form up or spread apart. They use their environment to their advantage. For example, when fighting a herd of plant beasts, one of the players climbed a tree to shoot at them. Because of those, I always scale their CR up, because I know that they can destroy enemies of their own CR without any issue. Even at level 1, their group of 4 was 7 HP away from killing a green hag, which is CR 3. But other than calculating and making plans and using your environment, another incredibly strong aspect is synergy. Now, it's one thing to play an OP build, but it'll never be as fun as synergies within the party. For example, I was playing a monk. The wizard cast haste on me. The druid put down their shepherd totem, and the paladin knocked the enemy prone. At level 5, I ended up doing 51 damage without a crit due to them all helping. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and of course leave a comment down below letting us know how you toppled or otherwise handled a really high level creature that otherwise you shouldn't have been able to deal with. Be it diplomatically or violently, let us know how you did it. Also, I just want to say thank you all for being here. We truly do appreciate and love every single one of you. I know the world is a little bit harsh out there, but I'll keep it brief by saying we're all here for you, rooting away. So don't ever give up on your dreams or your heart. Love you all. See you next time. Bye for now.